Okay, so game 3, Luvnest versus Noggano. Wow.
Oh yeah.
This is tense for me because Noggano playing USF in the first game really stuck it to Luvnest. In 15 minutes. The second game, Luvnest played UCF. UCF. Oh, what am I saying? USF with the same commander. And it was a bit longer this time, but he did actually manage to get Noggano down. So, really, we're going to expect to see Rifle Company, stomp.
Well, absolutely. It's already selected. Nagano's riding high on confidence, even though he technically lost that second game. He still inflicted VP bleed enough on Luvnest to make it into a contest. The first game, arguably, was a lot less of a contest and a little bit closer to a stomp. So I think Nagano's cocky going into this, but Luvnest obviously is on his preferred faction. It's going to be an interesting game. I am excited.
It is, and interesting to see that this time round, Luvnest has not jumped into a commander. So previously with the OKW, he went into that straight away at the start of the game, which means he did have a preset strategy that he was going into. I think this time round, although he's probably going to be fairly confident that his opponent has picked Rifle Company, he's probably just going to test that out, test the water a little, and make sure that those flamers pop up before actually making that final decision on a commander. I'm gonna expect here to see Lightning War from Luvnest. Very strong, very strong option. The G43 is gonna be very good in helping deal with the rifle flamers.
Massively, and I believe we'll see him pick that highly dependent on how the first engagements go, because he has got mobile defense, which is otherwise known as "I've just had my ass kicked for 5 minutes and that'll get me back into it" doctrine.
So let's have a look at the map strategy. We got both players very carefully picking out their sides this time. No deep pushes from Luvnest like we saw in the first game, where he rushed down to take that strategic point in the early game. Being very cautious this time round to take and hold territory. We do see an MG out this time, which I really like. That's going to be absolutely monumental in helping deal with these riflemen running around all over the place. So
absolutely. One thing I would say about Luvnest MG, he has played quite cautiously with it. He used it to cap the fuel. When you often see I class Luvnest as one of those elite level players, but when you often see other elite level players play, the MG is a tool for destruction in the very first 5 minutes of the game. They use it to push against the cutoff. So Luvnest is being a little bit cautious. He respects his opponents. He's on his preferred faction, and he's really gonna. This game could go on a long time.
Tactical point being captured.
Nice.
So we've seen.
Sorry, just 1 second. The guys here, they're going to be these first engagements are absolutely crucial. You get a feel for where your opponent's going on each side of the map. They are testing the ground, they're testing the ground here. They're trying not to lose anything. The health damage comes up, and this is the key thing actually, I think, in a lot of starting engagements, is how much health damage you take off of your opponent. Because doing that, you will force one of the players basically to invest in healing, which for the Austere will mean no LMG coming in as quick as it could normally come out, and obviously for the USF it means maybe a delay in teching to things like the M20. So that kind of early game, getting the health down on units is really important, and I'm trying to look at the squads at the moment and see who's coming out on top of this early game kind of system engagement at the moment. It looks like Noggano is actually taking a real beating in the health department, but
I was going to say Luvnest.
You may be right, actually. No, I may be looking at that wrong, because there we go. Yeah, because he had 4 out of 5 men. So actually, Luvnest has taken the probably the worst part of the hits in the early engagements there. He's going to be forced to invest in a medic bunker at some point, unless he obviously just loses the...
Yeah, as you say, it is a defeat. As soon as you have to put the medic healing on the field, it's a defeat because you've lost the ability to tech as quickly. So you often see top level players doing soft retreats, trying to preserve not only squads, but models on squads.
Yep.
That's the meta as it evolves. As the higher ranks you go, it becomes about models on squads, and the closer they get to the middle of the game without having med bunking, you often see squad wipes even happen, because a lot of the guys have low health. There's a very interesting balance in coming here.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I like to see, by the way, Luvnest is getting the 222 out in time to meet the M20. We haven't got a sniper on the field yet. It looks like Noggano was expecting that maybe, and has brought the M20 out like as one of the first rush units. But it looks like Luvnest may be predicting that he's going to bring the 222 out before the sniper, maybe looking to actually bring down the M20 before he makes that decision to bring a sniper on the field. Very sensible thing to do, gives him the security later on. It's very unlikely Noggano is going to invest again into another M20 once that goes down. If he does, that will delay his tech, so a lot of thought going into this game at the moment so far. Both players playing very carefully, still no commander pick from Luvnest. It's
both fuels for Noggano though. He's had a lot of map dominance like we saw in game 1 and a lot of VP pressure. Luvnest's already down to 400 nearly and Noggano's on 500, so although he's got the 2-2 out and he's done an excellent ploy of not going sniper, which is an interesting part to play because you'd expect him to go sniper. We're going to have to see how it works out though.
So we're getting a good look at Army's house here. He loves to brag about how this is his house on the map.
M6 mine on the west.
Oh yeah, just seen that. Is Luvnest in danger of actually going into that?
He would have been if he hadn't have gone around the left side of the rifle there.
Lots going on here. I mean, Noggano pushing off every direction that Luvnest goes. The fuel denial from left side. So much pressure on Luvnest here. He's got to be really careful that he doesn't give into this pressure because it's obviously the ace game. Noggano's playing the faction that he's clearly stronger, that has been won by both players in the first 2 games. He's got to be really careful not to overextend. If he pushes out in 3 directions because he's triple capped right now, the allies are just going to run rings around him. He needs to be really strong down the centre, maybe just looking to cap a VP for now and then work on some resources after that.
Yeah, and one of his units, the MG's tied up in the centre trying to watch over that VP. He hasn't even got it due to the M20. Yeah, I'd say Noggano is playing this map very well.
Yeah, he is doing it really well, and again, the ambulance has gone up, even though he didn't really need it as early as it came out. But he's making sure that all of his squads that enter these engagements are on max health, and forced the medic bunker out of Luvnest as well. So it's pretty even in that sense. Actually, I thought it would go one of either ways. Like one of them would be forced into the medics and get that tech delay, but actually both players were forced into it.
The sniper's on the field for Luvnest, so the VP pressure really could push him down to 200 by the time the sniper manpower bleed takes effect. And Noggano's just sitting pretty. He's got a prepared position, which is rare for an American player to have, and he's just waiting for the what the austere Wehrmacht player pushes against him. Grenade in on the MG, only kills one model. 222's
that much damage. I wonder what the strategy is here from Luvnest right now. I mean, what can he do? Are we going to see a commander maybe that can help enhance the kind of early game and maybe the entry into the mid game from Luvnest? What has he got available to him that can do that, really? I mean, the Puma might be the best option for him right here. It's a worry for him to maybe invest in tech right now. He hasn't got any fuel points. He's gone for close air support. I don't know if I agree with that. Where is the fuel here to invest into close air support?
There is no fuel. I mean, a few anti-infantry strikes could push Noggano back enough to get a few VPs on the go, perhaps. But that's just prospecting. It's not uncertainty.
That's very concerning at this stage of the game. To pick the commander then, I mean, what does close air support give at this stage of the game that could benefit him? He's going to be very tight on munitions if this game keeps going how it's going. He hasn't even had his own munitions point on his side for the majority of the start game. He is dangerously close to that M20 mine.
Here's a point. He's now hit 50 fuel, so he can invest in a lot of 125 munitions, which will give him Shreks on his newly about to be built Panzer Grenadiers and another 2 LMGs for his Grenadiers. Almost, give or take. So he's going to have a lot more pressure from his core infantry. That could be why he's done this.
It makes sense. I mean, if anyone's got the micro to pull it off, it would be Luvnest. But I mean, it's this decision to invest that fuel right now. He clearly is not going for any kind of tech in the foreseeable future. He's going to be playing a very, very heavy infantry game, which against USF, I don't know if that's going to work, to be honest. You know, the USF have a lot of stuff under their belt, which is able to, you know, deal with large infantry forces and infantry-dominated builds. So,
out of the next 3 units he builds, Luvnest, 2 of them will be packs. He's going to have to build them, otherwise he will lose because the medium armor is going to start coming out soon. So he's got the sniper on the field. He has got the Shreks for the Panzer Grenadiers. So what I just said, you know, it is still relevant, but he does have some AT. But it's going to be an interesting passage of play.
Well, 10 minutes in, and it's looking like pretty concerning for Luvnest right now. Although it's still early days, the VPs aren't in such a bad position, but we are triple capped at the moment, which means the pressure factor is on for Luvnest.
Yeah.
And
Take a second. I mean, if we just talk, and I'll talk more about the map after the game. Actually, I'll save my thing because I want to see how the game unfolds before I address allies on this map.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, we do see the pack as the first thing, well, the second thing from tier 2. He's got to build that because the Stuart's now obviously on 2 kills. It's doing quite well for itself. And
Sniper from
still
Luvnest,
alive.
very, very close to going down there. Fortunately managed to get that out in time. So the M20 still on the field? Yeah, it's on the left-hand side, isn't it? Capping at the moment. Beautiful pushing from Noggano in here, putting so much pressure on Luvnest. The manpower that's going down on Luvnest right now is just insane, really. He hasn't got enough to reinforce his squads. Not looking good at all. The Stuart's coming in now with the M20. Very, very nice stun shots go off from the Stuart. Will the 222 go down here? If he loses this, this is going to be a big loss for Luvnest. It is definitely going to go down.
Got it. Here comes the Shreks. One shot hit, one shot misses. The Stuart will get out of there.
Near enough damage, though.
Yeah, 160 VPs to 500 if Noggano wins this game to 500. I know the map is Allied favoured in my opinion at least, but it does show you that Noggano is a pretty fearsome player. And going into the final, if he does win the series, which we expect him to at this point, you know, he's going to really put the pressure on you know, whoever wins semi-final 2.
Yeah, I agree. We totally have to hand it to Noggano as well, because let's bear in mind that both of these players have played allies on this map, and Noggano has just played them better in the first game. So,
yeah.
You know, if he does go through based on that, it is still, you know, it's still credit to him, really.
That's the beauty of the tournament best of 3 VP leader gets decided. It doesn't matter if the factions are in... Oh god, there we just saw a rear echelon troop go down in the strong house at the north there. But it's the beauty of the system. I mean, even if, say, the fact there's only 2 factions and one was horrendously unbalanced, it would still be a kind of fair contest because, obviously, VP leader gets to pick the faction first.
That being said, Luvnest is starting to get some kind of field presence. Looks like Noggano doesn't really have everything he needs on the field right now to deal with this, which has resulted in him pulling back a lot of his squads to the base.
Yeah, it goes back to my earlier point about the munition heavy weapons for the Grenadiers and the Panzer Grenadiers. All 3 LMGs and the Shreks with sniper backup and an MG and a pack. It's a pretty fearsome army.
Yeah, it is a very good build, and it's taken a while for Luvnest to get it, but now that it's on there, he's in a very, very good spot if he can micro this correctly. I really, really love this with the Panzer Grenadiers and the AT gun. It's really, really nice, putting a lot of pressure on those units there. He needs to really, really work on getting the left VP and also keeping that stronghold in the mid. I really like that he's wiring off the green cover positions as well, obviously just making sure that... is that wire, or is he mining? He's actually putting a minefield down.
Yeah, that's a good decision. It did look like wire because it was so close to the cover, but yeah, a nice little S-mine. He's got 3 points of it done, I think, so he's at least got that central... Hang on, the pioneer that laid is dead.
Yep.
We are suffering losses.
And the rifleman might die on the side.
Oh, nice!
There, the S-mine!
Nice pickup though, it's a good trade to be honest. Vet 3 rifleman for the Pioneer squad isn't too bad. So again, Captain's going to run straight through this minefield again. Does he know it's there? Come on, Noggano. Yeah, I mean...
Match where the squad died, he knows there's nobody there. Oh god, good rifle nade off on them.
It is nice. Luvnest is actually pulling back into quite a strong position right now. Noggano hasn't got the tech on the field yet. We're still a couple of minutes off getting something like the Sherman onto the field. Another AT gun from Luvnest could really put him in a good position right now. Are we going to see more conversion into weapons and Shreks and things? I don't know. But whatever he's done so far is actually starting to turn the tide on Noggano.
Another rifle down to the northern tip of the S-mine field there. Oh my god, and the Panzer Grenadier's got the final killing blow. So as you were saying, Luvnest truly is massively back in this game now. He's just done the conversion you were talking about, and he's now got Shreks coming on his second Panzer Grenadier squad. So he's really pushing out. I'm quite excited. If he can get the win on this, you know, props and...
It's absolutely brilliant. He's going for the map cutoffs as well to try and deny. He's trying to stall this late game from Noggano as much as possible. Noggano put quite a lot into the mid game with his teching, you know, going for the Stuart as well as the M20. Something a lot of players are doing at the moment, going for captain and lieutenant. And you know, Luvnest, he might be able to stall this for a little bit longer. He may be able to. You know, the micro's there. The micro's good enough. He needs to really keep hold of these two VPs, and now he can start maybe looking at getting some resource points back. And, you know, maybe look at getting some vehicles up. I'll be interested in whether he's going to go into tier 3 or tier 4 here. I think, you know, safely he needs to go to tier 3 and get something like the Panzer IV out.
But, you know, the guy has no fuel and he's just built another Grenadier which will, you know, take up another LMG straight away. So he's got a massive anti-infantry presence. So the only way he could go with having only 20 fuel is packs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, though, he has all the infantry he needs on the field right now to actually start taking the map back. He is going to be losing 1 VP every second with this triple cap, so he needs to speed up what he's doing. He is in a good position right now. You know, Noggano is actually losing a lot of squads. He hasn't got the same, you know, kind of advantage in terms of teching he had on the field as earlier, so... You know, this is Luvnest's moment. I want to see him do this. I'm actually really rooting for him to pull this off.
Phosphorus in the centre.
Nice. The Shreks take down the Stuart on the left-hand side with the Panzer Shreks there. Is Luvnest going to be able to get in and neutralise this VP? He needs to do this very, very quickly to buy him some time.
Whilst you're watching the Stuart go down, Noggano got some phosphorus off in the centre, which has delayed Luvnest getting back into the VP battle considerably. He's also gone for a second sniper, and he's going to have to really act fast for him to get back in this.
This is tense. I mean, if he can hold it on 47 VPs, it's going to be a very, very long game for him to actually do this. But it is possible, you know, if he keeps control of his units, he doesn't lose anything. He is massively ahead of Noggano in terms of army builds right now. Noggano is going to be pressured to actually go for those VPs just to try and get that, do you know what I mean, to close the game quickly. Luvnest can really take advantage of this, but Luvnest just lost a squad in the middle VP. What was it?
That squad did kill the captain, but the grenade from the other rifleman got the kill there, so it was a trade in overall, just about. But Luvnest doesn't need trades right now, he needs wins.
What do you think about this coming in from Noggano? He's gone from the for the Scott, the M8A1, and what's the benefit of going over this right now rather than Sherman?
Well, he's seen that Luvnest has gone for an entire infantry composition. I mean, I know the Shreks, if they get sight of the Scott, but the Scott can stay at range maybe, and just keep the manpower drain on enough for Noggano to win this. However, if it fails, and the ploy is a bad ploy, you know, he could let Luvnest back in.
It is a risk. It is definitely a risk. 180 gun on the field, two squads of Panzer Shreks. It's a very, very mobile force for dealing with tanks. So, you know, the M8A1 Scott, you know, if it gets out of position, it's going to go down pretty hard. I just don't know what, you know, with the incendiary on the sniper and everything else, it's very, very difficult for Luvnest, for Noggano to actually push up here. But actually, with the Scots actually pushing off the Grenadiers, there's very, very nice flames on the MG snipers, trying to deal with the threat of the rifles, but it looks like it's going to be too much. Noggano with a beautiful push up the center there might actually take the MG down. Oh wow!
Down.
Yeah, I just saw that.
It's a very interesting thing from the Scott. I mean, because the LMGs have to be, you know, they're probably going to be in cover most of the time, standing still. Because, oh my God, the Panzer, yeah. It's like they're just about going to escape.
I think they will, yeah. This is tense. Luvnest is desperately capping on the right-hand side now. There's still, you know, Noggano's actually managed to even out the balance. He's going to pick up the LMG-34 that was dropped by the Grenadiers there, which is going to give him the extra. But look at that flamethrower and the LMG.
They're a Terminator squad, especially when they hit Vet 3.
Yeah, this is a fearsome squad, and you know, Noggano's starting to balance out the manpower on the field, which was previously, you know, much in the advantage of Luvnest. It's the M8A1 actually really paid off for him.
Yeah, the M8A1 is a good unit, and the point I was making before the Panzer Grenadiers nearly died was that obviously the LMG Grenadiers always have to be standing still to fire the LMG, so it's not a bad unit to have on against this kind of composition, and snipers too.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
But as you say, Luvnest is getting back in it. He's now, although his eastern victory point has been decapped, he's now taking the central one. Oh God! And the Panzer Schrecks nearly going on the Scott. They're all going to get pushed away.
Nah, they'll make it out of there, I think. So tense. I mean, with these double snipers hanging around now from Luvnest as well, you know, Luvnest really trying to just keep the manpower rate for Noggano down low. He knows that Noggano's lost quite a few squads. If he can keep putting, you know, if he can keep bringing those squads down to half health, one, it's gonna really, you know, it's gonna stop Noggano thinking, hey, oh, I'm gonna stop building infantry now, because you know every time he does, it's gonna like, you know, it's gonna hamper his manpower quite a lot because he's getting taken down so quickly. And at the same time, it's going to delay any kind of teching into tanks and things.
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
on the west of the map, Noggano just tried to take the western VP, but there's a bunker down by Luvnest, and he utilised strafe. That just shows him just how desperate and precarious his position is, that he's invested, you know, 200 munitions nearly on just keeping that VP alone.
Noggano just hasn't been able to capture this point yet. He's trying over and over again, but Luvnest is slowly building strength. And, you know, we haven't actually even got any fuel out on the field for Noggano to bring out a tank yet, so really, Luvnest is looking in a strong position. He's really pulling it out of the bag. Are we going to go for the triple cap for Luvnest? I don't know. He probably needs to look into something like that, but Noggano is being forced to put all of his units into the centre, looking for that double cap to finish the game. I don't know how well this is going to go from with the MG support there, you know?
The Vet 3 Panzer Grenadiers nearly went down, but unfortunately for Noggano, he has had to make a full retreat from the centre due to the MG and the sniper fire. The M20 mine is still a fixture. That was laid so early in the game, it's not been triggered yet.
Absolutely crazy. Look at this 80 position now on the mid. Looks like now Luvnest is going to be locking down the mid and left hand side. He's going to try buy himself some time, build up some forces, and oh, look at that! Oh. Scott nearly wiping that squad there. The retreat path is crazy. Why did they run that way?
They knew the mine was there, that's why they went that way.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
Here we go. This time it's this anti-tank strafe was called on the Scott, it seems. Here we go, we've got the Sherman Easy 8 on the field. Its turret pintle mount is upgrading.
Yeah, this is going to be really annoying for Luvnest now, because obviously the AT gun is not in a position to deal with that. The Easy 8 is easily going to be able to deal with this bunker, and the squad may even just jump out and cap the point. We've got a nice lieutenant push. Look at this, they get into the building to avoid the machine gun changing directions. They're going to easily be able to deal with that. AT gun from Luvnest facing the wrong direction as well. Panzer Grenadiers forced to retreat. This is a difficult position for Luvnest. Is it about to be the closing part of the game?
Massively, and the MG bunker just got destroyed in the west by the Easy 8. Noggano is microing in the centre though. He could use the decrew from the Easy 8 to cap that victory point if he wanted to close the game now.
Luvnest retreating through the flames there. Look at that, he's just taken down to such low health on both of those snipers. And they're going to be kept in the base for quite a while now.
Yeah. The good thing about Phosphorus is it won't kill your snipers, but it will take them down to a minuscule amount of health.
A perfectly timed Stuka dive bomb from Luvnest takes the squad out and neutralizes the VP. What a beautiful, beautiful timed Stuka strike. That achieved both purposes of wiping the squad and keeping the VPs from draining.
Just about.
It's perfect.
On the west, though, we've got another push from Luvnest. It is got the Easy 8 keeping the riflemen in that fight. Shreks might have something to say about it.
I don't know, you can see how desperate Luvnest is right now. He's really trying to stick in these points and just stop them from getting capped. It's that kind of point in the game where, you know, he may just lose his nerve here and just lose the game altogether because of this, but, you know, with the threat of the Easy 8 now, we've only got one AT gun on the field. The Panzer Shreks haven't been able to get in on it. You know, 20 seconds of the game left. I don't think Luvnest can do it. I think the #1 seed is going to get knocked out of this tournament right now.
Yeah, Noggano is got it at this point. I mean, in Luvnest, in defending that western victory point, you had to divert too much from the centre. And GG well played, as said by Stormless in chat, which scared the crap out of me.
I'm glad that feature is still in there. Well, what a surprise. What an upset as well. Luvnest has officially been knocked out of the tournament in the semi-finals, and Noggano is through to the finals. He's the first one to be confirmed as one of the finalists. Well played, Noggano. He played such a good game with Rifle Company in that first game. Luvnest returned it in the second, and the third one, I wish Luvnest had played Austere in that first game, because it could have been a completely different round. The decision to go for OKW in game 1 was really why Luvnest lost this. You know, it was a 15-minute game. The strategy held no weight whatsoever. Noggano basically got that easy win there, and he was able to get the faction selection for this game.
Sorry to interrupt you. Bang on with what you said about Luvnest going Wehrmacht. If he'd gone that, he might have had victory point control for the decider.
Yeah.
Which would mean on the Allied dominant map, he could have gone Allies. So it's a very interesting first game. If he hadn't gone OKW, we could be seeing Luvnest in the final. As it is, we've got Noggano.
What a shame. What a shame. Right, okay, let's get back to the lobby.